everybody, this is Beth McCullough. I'm an independent demonstrator in the United States for Stampin' Up, and I'm here every Wednesday at noon with Facebook crafting fun with Stamping Mom and Steve.
Hi, everybody.
So we are back home in Iowa. We just spent 2 weeks in Texas. We were in Austin visiting our son and helping him with surgery. And then we were in Waco. You probably could guess what we were doing in Waco.
Chip and Joanne were on vacation, however.
Yeah,
they weren't with us.
We thought they were going to meet with us, but they apparently they're not taking appointments from us.
Well, it's kind of sad, though, that they might have got out of town when they found out we were coming.
Do you think that's what it was?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But Waco was fun, and there wasn't very many people there, but we had a really nice time. Then we went on to Fort Worth. We saw the National Gymnastics Championships, and how was that?
That was amazing. The gymnasts were incredible athletes when we got to see them up close and personal, and also very short when we got to see them.
Very short. Who's your favorite?
Well, Simone's my favorite because she's
Simone
the greatest
Biles
of all time.
is everyone's favorite. You know what crossed my mind while I was there? Oh, is it here? Yeah, it's on the bottom here.
Way to goat.
Okay, so they say she's the greatest of all time. Greatest of all time, you're the GOAT. I sat at the gymnastics championships thinking, Simone Biles needs me to make her a card.
You're one of the only people I know that while we're at this amazing event watching these people do impossible tricks would be thinking about how you can incorporate stamping.
I wasn't trying to think how to incorporate stamping.
No, think stamping. Some people think in English. You think in stamping.
Well, I couldn't help it. As we're getting started, I would love it if you stamped along with me today. All you need is a piece of cardstock and a coordinating piece of designer series paper. And the designer series paper needs to be 4 inches by 5 1/4, and it doesn't matter. You can have it going in this direction or in this direction. It doesn't matter. But if you want to get that together, and we will get started on that in a minute. But what did we do after gymnastics? We woke up Monday morning. It was time to come home. We're on the road at 6 a.m.
And we got a great start. We were going to be home in plenty of time. I was feeling good about the trip. And then Beth says...
Well, wait. We were trying to get home because we're Alpha leaders. Alpha is new to, well, not just new, but Christianity 101 sort of thing that our church does. And we do it online on Zoom.
And we lead a small group of like...
awesome people.
5 to 6 couples.
Yeah. And so we were going to get home in time for that. So I'm driving down the road, and what did I say? Do you remember?
She said, I have an idea, but I don't think you're going to like it. Now, I have to say, when she prefaces with that, I know that I'm not going to like it, but I'm also going to end up doing it. So we ended up doing it. We had to go see Pioneer Woman in Pawhuska, Oklahoma.
Who would drive by Oklahoma and not stop and see Pioneer Woman, right? And here was my rationale. Because Steve, we had talked about it, and Steve said, let's do it on another trip to Texas. Sean's in Texas. We'll probably go to Texas twice a year. That makes sense, right? But when we were in Waco visiting Chip and Joanna, nobody was there. Like, the tourism hasn't kicked in after COVID to the full extent. So I didn't have to wait in lines a little bit. The cupcake line was that 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to what we did.
I didn't wait in line to go into the Magnolia Market. We did go to the Magnolia Table, the restaurant, for breakfast. A little bit of a wait, like 20 minutes.
But worth it. You know, here I thought it was going to be like dainty foo-foo food, and it was like real food. Country breakfast.
He was super happy with Magnolia Table. So anyway, this was my thought Monday morning. We're going home. We need to get home. But what if the people aren't back at Pioneer Woman? And if we go in the fall, when we go back to Texas to visit Sean or to help him with his house, there's going to be people there. Everything will take 3 hours longer. It was a time-saving mechanism.
She convinced me we couldn't afford not to do it.
So we stopped at Pioneer Woman. It was awesome. There was a line for lunch, but we went upstairs and had lunch. And what did you like? There was an unexpected surprise.
I like the fact that the entire main street was shut down because it looks like it hasn't changed since the 1900s. They were shooting a movie, a major motion picture.
And who's in the movie?
Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. It is directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's going to be like an Academy Award-winning movie. I just wish I remembered the name. But
of the movie. It's a great movie that we don't know the name.
It's going to be. And they had horses and wagons and mules.
Buggies.
And then they had Model T cars. So it was set in 1910.
The early 1900s. And they had dumped dirt all over the road. So it just looked like it would then.
It was muddy.
A mud road.
And it hadn't rained there for quite a while. So that was interesting.
Yeah. And there were extras running all over, going to the post office, dressed in period cowboy type gear. And we did not get to meet Leonardo or Robert De Niro. He was with Pioneer Woman and
Skip and Joanna.
None of them were there for us, but it was still super fun, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. So we're going to go see that movie when it comes out. We're excited about that. Okay, so this is an easy card, but there's a reason why I'm showing it to you today. One reason is because on my blog, it's the Pals Blog Hop Day, and we were supposed to feature one of the things about Stampin' Up! With tips and tricks. I love my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. If you've been here before, I've told you how I put my piece of 1/4 inch by 11 inch cardstock down this ruler so you can see it.
Mary is asking about the dimensions here.
The dimensions, just a full sheet of cardstock and a piece of designer series paper, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And you can go up and down or sideways. It doesn't matter because this card goes both ways. And I'm going to show you the card both ways. So anyway, this is on my blog today at stampingmom.com. And there's a little video I made. I have a friend who's a new stamper, and we're making a series of new to stamping videos. And the first one I posted was the one about the trimmer. So go check it out. There are things, and I learned something. Courtney, I don't know if you're on, Courtney. This I did not say in my video, but see this hole here? This is to hang your trimmer if you want to hang it up like this. I always keep mine flat, but if you want to hang it, there's a hole there to hang it, which is pretty cool. Can you see that on the screen? Oh, you're not watching. You can see comments, though.
Oh, I'm listening to comments.
Okay. So here is the card. And another side note, the paper is the beautiful hand pen paper. And I've been talking a lot about the hand pen stamp camp, worldwide stamp camp. For North America, it's June 25th and 26th. There are demos from Canada, the United States, the UK, and Australia. Steve would watch it just to hear their accent, wouldn't you?
I love the Australian accent.
And when we do our video, are you going to be on the video for the hand penned?
I guess I'm going to be. I'm seeing you shaking your head yes.
Yes,
so
yes.
I suppose that means I will be.
So if you haven't already, order the hand pen suite from me. And if you already own it, you can order whatever you want. It just needs to be $66 or more. And I will send you the card kit that goes along with it. Each demo is going to show you how to make a hand pen card, and you can make it with them. You'll have the pieces plus what you bought in the suite. And you'll get a second card, so you will have all kinds of tutorials. There's video tutorials, there's written tutorials. And Wendy's on here. Wendy's already signed up for the stamp camp. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, so here's my card, and now I'm going to make it a second time for you and make it in the other position. But the other thing you need besides the sheet of cardstock and the piece of designer series paper, 4 inches by 5 1/4 and a full sheet, this will make 2 of the diagonal fold cards. You also need a sentiment and a die cut. So I went through my current die cuts, and there's a ton you can use. The Stitch So Sweetly is a good size. I used the second biggest one for my happy birthday. And then I did it again in hello, and I used this one. Then I looked at the ornate frames. They're a little small, but I thought this one would work. And I'm going to show you how to get the pieces out of that. Some other good ones. Have you looked at Hippos and Friends? Hippos and Friends Dies has awesome die cuts for sentiments. I really like these. Tasteful Labels would work. They have a good variety, and you can use whatever sentiment you have also. Stitch with Whimsy. A couple of these would be the right size. These new tailor-made tag dies. These are pretty awesome. And you could have one of these. I maybe would use the second biggest, and that would be fun on the front of these cards. And then the old standbys. You could use circles, squares, or stitched rectangles. So whatever die cut you use, find a sentiment that looks good with those. And let's get started with the cutting. Actually, I'm going to start with the scoring. So you have your piece of cardstock, and you're going to score it in half. So in North America, you would put the left edge at 4 1/4, use your scoring blade and score it exactly in the middle, up and down. And it doesn't matter if you're doing which way the card is going. You do it the same for both. Now I'm going to turn the long edge at the top. Can you see the top in the camera?
Yes.
And I'm going to put the left edge at 5 1/2, which is the middle again. So your cardstock is scored down the middle in both directions. Now, for the next part, you need a Stampin' Up! Trimmer. I have not seen another trimmer this works for. And another thing you need to do you know how to take, can you see this? You need to know how to take your trimmer blades out. I'm going to take the cutting blade out so I can get the embossing blade out. And the reason I want to take it out is because you have more room to cut the full length of the diagonal. Okay, then what you do is make sure the corner of the diagonal is right in the cutting groove, both at the top and the bottom, and then hold on tight as you shut this down. And sometimes I need to use my paper trimmer just to get the edge, but for the most part, we're going to be able to get the whole, oh look, yay! Isn't it nice when something works out on camera?
When it comes out exactly as you planned, it's always a good thing.
It is a good thing. Okay, so this makes 2 different cards. I'm going to take one of them, and I'm going to use my bone folder on the score lines that we already made. Now, I made this card about a year ago, and I was going to just post that video. But on that video, I'll show you what I did. Okay, so this card is up and down, so my DSP is vertical. Now I'm going to make one with the DSP horizontal. So to do that, I just took my trimmer, and I also put the Designer Series paper in here. And you do the exact same thing you just did. You put the corner in the groove, the other corner in the groove, and you have 2 perfect triangles. Okay, so on my video I did last year, I went like this and said, oh my goodness, it doesn't match. What did I do wrong? Well, all you do, if it doesn't match, is fold it the other way. Okay? So this one is going to be my horizontal version. This one is my up and down. So for every card, it can go either way. What do you think of that, hun?
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around what you did when it didn't fit and how you made it.
Okay.
Just flipped it upside down.
If you flip it the other way, the triangles, it wouldn't go, right?
Right.
So then just go back the other direction. That's all you do. Do you have it now?
I do have it.
Okay. So then take your Designer Series paper, put some liquid glue or whatever adhesive you like I like the liquid glue for wiggle room, so I can line it up with a similar border all the way around. You know, we've been gone for 2 weeks and been talking so much about what we're doing, but we haven't been asking you what you're doing. So would you put in the chat and let us know what you've been up to?
Well, Glenda's been using the hand pen suite and says it's awesome.
Glenda, you need to do the hand pen stamp camp with me. You would be really happy with it. Even though you already own it, you can purchase something else. And I'll send you the card kit and you'll get videos and written directions. I think you would love it, Glenda. Glenda saw us on the gymnastics night. She texted me and said, "Hey, are you near the vault and is Steve wearing a blue shirt?" And I said, "Yes, as a matter of fact, that is true." That was sweet that you found us, Glenda. So put your designer series paper on, whatever direction you want it to go. And then I have some choices of what we should put on here. I cut this one out of the hippo set. And then I thought it was a little. I mean, I kind of want the pretty designer series paper to show, but I wanted it a little bigger. So I cut a Blushing Bride scallop square, and I'm going to pop up the hello on there. Are you wondering where the hello comes from? The hello and the thanks that I used today is from Biggest Wish. It's a new stamp set. And then the happy birthday, this is from Pretty Perennials. And I was going to remember to tell you, when I did this, I actually set it up on a block. So every time I stamped it, it stamped perfectly where I wanted it to go. And why do you think I wanted to do it several times, Steve?
Because you never know if it's going to stamp correctly. And with me, it takes me 3 or 4 times just to get it straight.
Well, that is one good reason. Or when I make cards, I like to make at least 4 of the same. And a lot of times I like to make a card kit. So, oh no, there's someone at the door pounding. Now dogs are barking. Uh-oh. Don't they know it's time for our Facebook Live? Okay. So, we have this one. And now the other thing you need to know is you're only going to attach it to one side. So you can attach it to the bottom or the top. I like to do it to the top because it's going to open. So don't put adhesive here. Just put it on the part that's going to go on the top. Who is at the door, honey? Oh, is it a good thing?
It's a good thing.
Did someone send flowers?
They did.
No.
Oh, yes, they did. And you'll never guess who it was.
Okay, no, I was totally kidding. No one sends flowers. Who sent flowers?
Aren't they pretty?
Who are they from?
No, wait, you can't see them.
You can't see them. You'd have to tip them over and then the water would fall out. Here, let me lift the stand up. Oh my gosh, who sent flowers?
Well, who did you do a wonderful favor for this morning?
Oh, it wasn't a wonderful favor. Are you serious? Oh, our sweet little neighbor lady, Fran. How old is Fran? 84 years old. Here, you can see the flowers. Her husband passed away. That is so sweet. I was totally kidding. No one ever sends me flowers, but I don't usually have people come pound on my door out of the blue either. Her husband passed away and she had to go downtown and do the car registration, and she was kind of nervous. So before our trip, we printed off the papers that she needed, and I drove her downtown this morning and went in and helped her to do it. It was no big deal. She wanted to pay me for gas, and I'm like, okay, it was like 2 cents of gas. I don't know. I told her that she does so many nice things for other people.
It's actually fun watching Beth try to be nice to Fran, because Fran is really busy being nice to everyone else.
She is. She has 100-year-old she drives around.
So these two people try to out-nice each other. It's almost like a competition. And it's hilarious to see. And Fran just went up to you. She sent you flowers. So there you go. Just stop competing now. She won.
I wasn't trying to compete. She just was nervous about going downtown. That is so sweet. That just makes my day.
Okay, what are you doing? And why does that work?
Why does that work? Okay, this is the Ornate Frame Die. And it has, look at all these little pieces. So before the Facebook Live, I was punching each little piece. And then I remembered that we have this. And I thought, well, I should try it. And I was hoping it would work on camera. And it did. Yay. So that was really easy. And so what we could have done is put this on instead. But I wanted to show that so people remember if they have trouble getting the little pieces out.
Wait, the times you've had me sit and poke each one of those out, which is like my worst nightmare of having to get bored doing something, I could have used that thing.
You could have.
Whatever you call it. What do you call that?
I'll have to look in the book. I should have looked that up too. Getting the little piece out thingy dingy.
Wire wheel sort of deal?
Yeah. So here's the cards. You can do vertical, you can do horizontal, you can put whatever sentiment. Only tip is don't put adhesive on the part that's not attached. And lots of different choices here. And again, it's the beautiful hand pen paper. I would love it if you would join me with the Hand Pen Worldwide Stamp Camp. Die brush. Kay says it's a die. Thank you, Kay. That's what you need is a die brush if you want to get those out. And that's from Stampin' Up. But they might have changed it. Is the die brush attached to the U-Pick? Now I can't remember the name of that either. I should have looked these things up. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, has anyone asked any questions or told us what they've been up to for the last couple weeks?
Well, Kay is saying that the cards are beautiful, which is very nice.
Oh, thank you, Kay. So, Kay, do you see why I want to make a gift set? If I put 4, 5, or 6 cards and matching envelopes and put them in a box and wrapped it cute, I think it would be a lovely birthday gift or a lovely hostess gift. And I really like doing that. Also, another thing is people tell me all the time, I go in my craft area and I don't know what to make. So this is the easy button. Get a piece of cardstock, get a matching designer series paper, cut the layer at 4 by 5 1/4, cut these diagonal, and you can go to town even with all the different pieces of hand pen paper. I could make them in every color. This paper is so pretty. So then it's just fun to figure out what sentiment you want to use or what die cut. But I literally could sit for hours and make 25 of these cards and make them all a little different. And that would be fun for me. Would that be fun for you?
Well, because there's not as much stress in it because you know what you're doing. So Wendy just got done celebrating her mom's 80th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. That's awesome, Wendy.
It's always a good thing to be nice to your mom. Let's just put it out there. Our moms have been so nice to us all their lives, so returning the favor is always a good thing to do.
It is a good thing.
Glenda is trying to stay cool in the heat and humidity.
You know what's funny, Glenda, is while we were in Texas for 2 weeks, we were really worried it would be super hot, and it was rainy and cool. So we really never did get hot in Texas.
Until we got back to Iowa.
We got back to Iowa. Our hanging baskets, can we talk about this, or is it taboo? Our hanging baskets on our back deck.
Didn't get watered.
They're deader than a doornail. We need to buy 2 new hanging baskets. So I think it was dry and hot in Iowa the 2 weeks while we were gone, but it was rainy and cool in Texas. So we should have been sending memos about water the pots on the back deck.
They got watered once. So that box got checked.
Our daughter did that, right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, they said to water, so we've done that now.
Sometimes you get what you pay for, and we didn't pay, so that's okay.
Mary is still getting ready for the wedding. She was at the future daughter-in-law bridal shower this past weekend.
Oh, how exciting. I bet she got a beautiful card made by you, Mary. So We met Sean's girlfriend while we were in Texas. That was fun, too.
And she was lovely.
She was lovely. And guess what? She's a crafter. So excited. Yes. She said she'd like to have a craft room someday.
Yeah, so I think that might actually entice her to come visit us here in Iowa.
Yeah, she could come play in my craft room. All of you could come play in my craft room, too. Well, anyway, do we have anything else? Is there any other questions?
That's about it.
If you watch this on the replay or on YouTube, would you please put replay in the comment and ask any questions? My email is beth@stampingmom.com. I would love to hear from you. And I would love to have more of you attend our hand-penned stamp camp that is a week from this weekend. And ask me how if you don't know how to do that. And I hope you all have a blessed day. Steve and I will be back next week. I don't know what we're doing next week.
Well, usually we don't until about 11:55.
No, you don't know until 11:55.
It's always a surprise for me.
So we did celebrate our 35th wedding anniversary. Was that fun?
It was. It was. And, you know, just spending the whole couple of weeks with my wife, just the two of us. Well, I guess we were nursing Sean for half of it. But
Sean did go to our anniversary dinner celebration.
He bought us our
with
anniversary dinner, which was a huge bonus.
Yeah, that was sweet.
But it was kind of fun getting to just spend time with you and have fun and be on vacation.
Yeah, now you have to work again.
Yeah, but we're still spending time together, like now.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. I looked at his calendar when he was driving because I wondered how he gets away with doing the Facebook Lives Wednesday at noon. And he has it on his work calendar, lunch with Beth. So you guys, between you and I and us, he's having lunch right now.
That's right. That's, you know, I didn't want to advertise that we're Facebook Living.
You didn't want all your friends at work watching you craft with me?
I think word has gotten out. Certain people are actually watching, but they can't watch from work on that computer because that would be bad. That would be wrong. But
okay.
Anyway.
But the ones that are at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys, Mary said you two are so cute together. Mary, you are so sweet. You know, God has blessed me with a wonderful husband, and it's fun that we get to do this Facebook Live. It's much better than last year when I kept saying, quit banging cabinets and be quiet.
Yeah, we had a replay with banging on the door today, but hey.
In fact, yesterday, I tried to make a video so I could put it on my blog when the blog post for this went live this morning. So I made the video yesterday. He was busy working, and I made it alone, and I couldn't make a video alone. I didn't know what to say, so I'm now dependent on Steve to join me on videos.
So wait, this would be the time to ask for a raise? For my contract?
You know, Bev isn't on. Bev would be asking for a raise for you.
Yeah, she's my agent.
Yeah. Why did she want you to get a raise last week?
I don't know, because she's my agent, and that's her job.
I can't remember what it was. But anyway, you guys have a great week. Thanks for joining us. Please come back next week. Love you all. Bye-bye.